bunch of
Let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal! Go, 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 go!
Fence!
It's beautiful! Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
It is a brand new week. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Don't forget, Willis Automotive is hiring sales and leasing consultants across all their brands. At Willis, you have a unique opportunity to cross-sell across a wide lineup of vehicles. If you're looking to grow your career and work with multiple brands, this is your chance. Start your new career at willisauto.com. If you're listening on the audio stream at rushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like. Leave your comments in the comments section. You can call the show at 515-517-2303 and follow us on social media. Good morning, Ross Peterson.
What's up, Trav? How was your weekend?
Well, you know, it's great because we had, you know, the kids were here, but Mary and Abigail and Will and Sutton, they left yesterday. But for the second time in less than a week, Ross, I decided to drink a little heavily. And last night happened to be one of those times. And I don't know. So we went over to, Greta's going to watch some dogs this week, right? So we went over to a friend's house, and they're like, hey, do you want a margarita? Sure. You want a second margarita? Sure. Want a glass of white wine? Sure. You want another margarita? Sure. How about one more margarita before you go?
Wow.
Sure. So for the second time in less than a week, I wake up in the middle of the night, fully clothed, not underneath the covers.
On top of the bed.
On top of the bed.
Damn, dude.
That's what. So, and that was probably. Then I fell back asleep, but then I woke up. This is where my stupid brain goes. So about 3:30, I'm like, oh, I usually start at 4. I've been looking at YouTube at these chair Tai Chi exercises or chair exercises. I'm like, they're 15-minute exercises. So I go upstairs, I grab a folding chair, I come down to the office, set it up. I do a 15-minute chair workout. They're not easy. You think they're easy.
Are you sweating?
Oh, dude, my heart rate hit like 120 at one point, and then I'm like, about 9 minutes in, I'm like, this is hard.
It's harder than I thought it was going to be. I signed up for something easy.
And being hungover the way I was, and I didn't have a headache again, but I'm dehydrated, right?
Yeah.
So it's like just severely dehydrated. I mean, I'm so upset with my stomach right now that usually I have 2 of these done by the time we start. I haven't put one in my mouth yet.
The Velos are those are the nicotine things, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's doing the nicotine pouches. All of my buddies do the nicotine pouches.
I'm just trying to get. I went to the back, got myself from Atlanta Coca-Cola Bottling Company what do we call this? I'm had a no the sport drink,
Powerade,
the light. No, not the Powerade, the other one, Body Armor. I got the Body Armor light.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I mean, again, my brain's going.
Yeah, apparently mine too, and I didn't even drink.
Yeah, see, exactly.
Wow. Well, you look good. I mean,
but
you're showing up.
I can't drink anymore because
That's it.
I've been speaking of drinking though. Brian Duax has reached out to us and said, "Hey, could you guys do a poll and say, hey, so we're going to do 2 polls this week. We're going to say, and this all has to do with the Central City Liquors Rush Radio Deal of the Week. We're going to pick the category today. Tomorrow we'll pick the product. So you can just go to our X page and vote for bourbon, tequila, vodka, or THC drinks.
You'd be picking vodka these days, apparently.
Well, tequila last night in the margaritas.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Dude, I saw you up at the Wright County Fair this weekend.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What about it?
No, did you have fun? Was it everything you thought it was going to be? Was it
freaking awesome? First of all, weather-wise, we could not have had a better Saturday and Sunday, in my opinion. This is like perfect weather for me. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. Beautiful, hot. You get in the shade. You get a breeze. It feels wonderful. And just, dude, I had America this weekend. That's what I had. I had a lot of America. The Wright County Fair up in Eagle Grove. I'd never been to a county fair before. Only fair I've ever been to is the Iowa State Fair.
Really?
That's it. The only one I'd ever been to. It's the only metric I had in my head for what a fair is.
Okay.
So, dude, go up to Eagle Grove in the Wright County Fair, and I realized. I mean, I had been on those grounds before for the WHO tractor ride when we went through that area. I had some memories come back. That used to be a dry. There was no alcohol allowed until like recently, Trav. I am like, somebody can check me on this. I'm almost certain that place, and a gentleman came up and we started talking, and I said, man, I remember being here one time, but we didn't stay here overnight. Why wouldn't we have stayed here overnight? I feel like we were here for like a day. Actually, I thought we'd stayed overnight. One of the gentlemen that ran the fair said, no, I remember that. You guys were just here for a pit stop. I said, oh yeah, I ran the pit stop. So I was here all day, which made it kind of feel like we were there overnight. And then later on, a guy came up and he was like, yeah, remember when we were here for the tractor ride? Yeah, and he goes, remember, we didn't stay here because it was a dry fair at the time. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, we couldn't drink on the grounds. They just started allowing people to drink here like 5-6 years ago, something like that. But
really,
I'd been on the grounds before. It's not huge. I should have remembered that it's not the size of the Iowa State Fairgrounds. It's the size of the, one section of the Iowa State Fair. It was great. We spent a couple of hours walking around. Audrey instantly met a new friend from Humboldt. We walked in, had a little tour of the, chatted with some folks that invited us up there. Our friend Trisha was the one that invited us up. And she escorted us in, gave us VIP parking right by the stage where Confederate Railroad was going to be performing. We walked into one barn that was like the poultry barn.
Okay.
I sent you a photo from the poultry barn. I told you, I said I'd signed up for a contest.
Yeah, and you were by a cock, right?
I said I signed up for a contest. Me and this fella headed to the finals.
Good-looking cock. It was like little Jerry Seinfeld.
Then we turned that out of that barn and into the kids zone barn. And like 5 minutes of walking, Audrey comes up to me and she's like, Dad, I met a new friend. Can we hang out with her? Yeah. So we met this young girl named Sailor from Humboldt. Hung out with her and her mom. Her mom's name was Cassie. And had a great time, man. They had rides.
There was something about a county fair. Don't get me wrong. County fairs are just the state fair is the state fair. You can say it's about the ag but it's about the food, the commercialism. It's cool.
Yeah.
But county fairs are really about the 4-H. I mean, and then you have the party. I like county fairs. I grew up on county fairs.
Travis, while I was there, they were having like I'd call it a talent contest, but yeah, like the 4-H kids were getting up and doing their things. They were giving away all the awards. It was really cool. And then we got to see Confederate Railroad. And we had told Trisha that we're like, we're here because of really one song. And she's like, which one? And I said, it's called The Big One. And she thought I meant like their big song. And she goes, oh, you mean Trashy Women? And I said, no, they've got a really obscure song about a dad farting in church. It's called The Big One. So Confederate Railroad had just an, I thought, fantastic show. I knew most of the songs. It was really fun. And the guy sat there and told stories about all their careers, and they'd all worked for different, various artists. And so he would play songs from David Allan Coe and play songs from the different folks they worked with. And then towards the end of the concert, he says, we don't normally do requests when we're up here on a concert like this, but we understand that somebody in the audience wanted to hear this one song, and I'll tell you the story about it. My daddy always asked me to sing a song about him. And this is a true story, and it's the song that got us kicked out of the Grand Ole Opry. It was a hot Sunday morning. And then at the end of it again, there it is, by request, the big one. I was like, Audrey, you don't get requests played at concerts very often.
So did Trisha go up to him, like knock on the door of the bus?
Absolutely, they must have. Well, she was with another lady, and I'm missing her name right now. When I said that she was like, "We're gonna tell them that," and I was like, they probably got their set list off. Well, then at some point he even said, he goes, "We don't really have a set list." He's like, "We just kind of play what songs from our past come up and the stories that we're telling." And so I was like, "Oh, maybe they'll get to it," and they did. It was super cool. It was such a fun evening, man. It's again. Perfect, like the scenery, the cornfield in the background. It was just Iowa. So nice.
Was there a lot of people? I couldn't see with the video that you sent.
No.
There wasn't a lot of people there for the show?
There was a beer garden. There was a lot of folks in the beer garden. For the show, not a lot. Not thousands of people or anything like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I guess that's not what they anticipate up there.
Yeah. Does Confederate Railroad still go around by bus? Do they have a tour bus in the back?
Dude, they actually have a freaking... I should have taken a picture of their bus. Their bus is sweet. It's like copper colored.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it very much looks like... If you saw it driving down the road, you would say, somebody special's in that. It's a sweet looking rig. And they do have a lot of good songs, but they've like won Grammys, and you know what I mean? They're an accomplished band. And the group that opened up for them, holy cow, dude, I should have gotten their name so that I could have told Owen about these guys. These kids kicked at guys. They were grown men. They weren't kids. And I feel so bad. They were a group out of Fort Dodge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 3 kids out of Fort Dodge, and the lead singer was from Fargo, North Dakota. They played Owen's style of music. Like I don't know what to call that, rock and country. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to pigeonhole it because it's not country music. It doesn't sound.
Some people will just call it red dirt rock. Like
sure, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. Yeah, I mean, I would just call it music, but I think people want more
fair.
of an explanation.
And I think that's fair. Anymore, we try to pigeonhole stuff into certain, brands or genres, and it's just like, is it a good song? Is it a good song? That's all that matters to me. Coming up at 7:30 today, Todd Stepsis, head football coach at Northern Iowa, going to be joining us. They've got media days for the Missouri Valley Conference tomorrow in Sioux Falls. And I said, hey, we're not big media day guys. How about you just come on and have a conversation with us for a half hour? He goes, absolutely. So he's going to be joining us at 7:30. Friday, as we were on the air, we want to thank our astute listeners who alerted us that Jamie Pollard announced his retirement. We spent a good time, almost an extra half hour. We went long, just kind of the immediate reaction, right? Now that we've had a weekend to kind of think about this, Ross, what's next for Iowa State? Now, the good thing is Jamie gives a year, right? I mean, it's like next June 27th of 2027 would be his last day, or if they hire somebody in advance, he could step aside and go out the door whenever. But as you've now had a weekend to digest this, what do you think's next for Iowa State? What do you think this job looks like?
Travis, you are 1,000 times better at this than me.
I don't know about that.
I do. I do. I mean, to the point of when you said we just spent a weekend thinking about it, I was like, oh yeah, Jamie Pollard is retiring. You've been way better at what this job is. Travis, I don't know these names. Troy Dannon?
No, that'd be step down.
I'm giving you the only people I know that could possibly be qualified. Beth Getz. I've heard that name before. I know who that lady is. I don't know that Brian Harden, with the way that this job has evolved into what it is. I think you nailed it the other day. It's a lot more like a general manager position in an NFL franchise. In fact, some college football programs have now hired general managers. Doesn't Iowa have a general manager?
Yeah.
So maybe it looks a lot more like a fundraiser, the CEO of a nonprofit type of thing. Maybe their resume, I don't think it's hey, maybe Kirk Ferentz wants the job. Maybe we go get Fred Hoiberg. Nope, we're past that stuff. Maybe Dan Gable. No, it's not that anymore. The job is way different than we got to find a leader and a competitor and a winner. No, you got to find a fundraiser. You have to find an accountant.
I think it goes beyond that.
Okay.
I actually,
this is what,
you're on the same page as me. I mean, if you can't raise money, you're screwed, right? But not only do you have to be able to raise money, which is in the traditional sense, going after your boosters for money, right? The new way of raising money is finding new streams of revenue, and without just the donor base. So you're not making a hire for next year. You have to be able to, and this is the hard part about this job or any job going forward. You have to be able to see the future. If you're not looking 5 to 10 years down the road and what that looks like, you are going to be left. Not saying you don't take care of tomorrow, but you have to have a vision, a clear vision with the ability to adapt. But if I'm David Cook, who's the president at Iowa State, and I'm going to start doing interviews, if you don't come in with a 5 to 10 year vision of what your plan is and how you're going to generate more revenue, then you're disqualified from the job. You have to be thinking that far advanced, because this is changing on a daily basis. And if you come in and say, here's the deal, we need to privatize. It needs to become Cyclones Athletics LLC, and we need to privatize. I went down that rabbit hole this weekend just going, how would you how do you privatize a public institution athletic department? And it's not as easy as what you think. Now, we've seen Kentucky do it, but you're privatizing what you want to privatize, but you're still tied to the public funds. You're still tied to education.
So kind of when you went down the rabbit hole, you privatize the trademarks, the logos, those sorts of things, the marketing aspect of it.
Essentially, what Iowa and Iowa State have with Learfield and how they're running the flight, that's privatized business at that point, right? So a portion of what you're doing is privatized. But you really do have to have a vision of what 5 or 10 years looks like.
So Travis, I went back and looked at my notes from the AD stuff, because when we kind of asked some of these questions. What's your plan? The money train is getting crazy and it's going to get harder to push up the hill. What's your plan? And so let me throw out some of the things that we heard during those conversations, and you tell me what would win you.
Okay.
If I said if I said my 5-year plan includes using Hilton Coliseum as a concert venue,
I would say that's already being done. You got to put something new on the table for me.
What about
it's
camp?
Great.
Okay, and I'm not knocking on anybody.
I know. I know. I'm just looking at
notes.
Yeah.
What about camps? What if I said that we're going to start doing camps? Now those two are from you and I.
Yeah,
and that's we're in a different league. Obviously, it's a different thing. I'm just trying to. What are the ideas? I guess my better question. What are the ideas that somebody has to come with to say, like, I feel like you've squeezed the turnip here.
Well,
there's no alcohol faucet to turn on.
Here's what you have to do, because you can't allow it to become a dumpster fire. Is that you need to do as much homework as you can on Sci-Town and how you're really going to maximize the possibilities there.
Yeah.
Don't let that become a boondoggle.
Maybe, Travis, that might even be the number one thing that is that the athletic directors? I know it was Jamie's vision. Is that position of athletic director now project manager?
Absolutely.
For this, because it's a real, you're nailing that. That's a good point. That's the most important thing in Ames right now. As crazy as that sounds, it's not win football games. It's not even keeping TJ is really high up there, but right now it's don't let Sci-Town become a boondoggle.
Yeah. Because I mean, in all of Ames, that real estate in between Jack Trice and Hilton is probably some of the most valuable real estate in central Iowa, right? And so you look at it, and I know people are going, you're killing the atmosphere. Well, you can have all the atmosphere you want. You can have all the great game day experiences. If it's not generating you revenue, you're falling behind. You are continually falling behind. You have to be almost a venture capitalist in your own brain. You have to, I was watching Margin Call this weekend, or just clips of Margin Call. You ever seen the movie Margin Call?
That's what
Kevin Spacey's
on a
in
list that I've heard is like okay, it's like The Big Short, but I don't think I've seen Margin Call, but it's on a list I've been told have to watch.
Demi Moore's in it. Kevin Spacey's in it.
So you see her boobs?
No, I wish I did though.
One of the few Demi Moore movies you don't see her boobs.
But I believe Jeremy Irons is kind of the head honcho there, right? And as they're breaking the news to him, he goes, "You know why I make the big bucks? You know why I make the big bucks? Because I have one job, and that is to predict the future. That's my only job, is to predict the future and see the future. This new athletic director has to see the future."
Yeah.
Don't tie yourself in the old way of thinking of Fred Hoiberg, of some great illustrious alum. You have to think beyond that, and who's a innovator, who's a strategist, and yes, a leader. It's no longer about the athletics. It's about keeping your athletic department open.
Well, good news is people like that can see the future. They're a dime a dozen, and they're looking for jobs in Ames, Iowa. This is a tough hire.
It's a very tough hire. I'm going to ask you a question. This conversation may go long. We may go past. I'm going to ask you a question. Similar size schools. Iowa State might be a little bigger. Similar sized budgets. 2 open jobs right now. What is a better job? Iowa State or Purdue?
Oh, okay. I just got to think about it out loud. My instinct. I'm a Des Moines kid. I'm a Central Iowa guy. I want to say Ames, but instantly I remember that Big Ten money being 100. So there's more to it than just those 2 factors. I like Central Iowa and money. There's a lot more factors to it than that. Boy, Trav, my knee-jerk reaction is that it's Purdue, but I think that I'm kind of doing that just based on I don't know their money situation. I know Iowa State situation, and I don't know it. I think I understand that it's really thin in the margins right now, and Purdue I think is going to have a little bit more of a cushion there.
I wouldn't say it's a huge
very
cushion.
Similar athletic departments, actually, as we think about it.
Yeah, very similar. Their budgets are very similar, but. Ross, you hit the nail on the head. If somebody's offered let's say Purdue and Iowa State go after the same guy, you have to take the Purdue job because you're getting $75 million a year instead of $39 to $40 million a year, and you compound down every year. Your life's a lot easier.
Yeah,
Purdue is a better job than Iowa State right now, and in the foreseeable future.
You're one of the few people I know that I can actually say this. How's Lafayette?
It's I don't know about Lafayette. West Lafayette is
West Lafayette. Yeah, West Lafayette. Okay. That's right.
It's kind of a hole.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
That's my instinct was that. I mean,
though I think everything in Indiana is, but nothing can be worse than Terre Haute. Terre Haute is just like the worst. And then Evansville. I've never been to Bloomington. Been to Indianapolis. I don't mind Indianapolis.
I know. I drove across the northern part of Indiana once.
I've been to South Bend, to Notre Dame. Outside of the campus of Notre Dame, I wouldn't step foot in South Bend.
Really?
Campus, beautiful. One of the best campuses I've ever been on. City, shitty.
Shitty city?
Shitty city.
I had a buddy in San Diego this weekend. Watched our buddy, I think it was our buddy Jay Sharif from JCD and Hobby. I think he was
really?
In San Diego. Yeah. Also had a buddy in Cincinnati watching the Cubs Reds.
Oh, that's this week. You know what? Todd Bailey and I were going to go to that, and we never followed up on it.
Oh,
I know. That would have been fun.
That would have been a lot of fun. You could have been live from Cincinnati this morning.
But I'm glad I didn't, because my granddaughter was here, and that wasn't originally planned. So
that trumps the.
That trumps.
You can always do a boys' trip to Cincinnati. Hook up with him. Call him and say, "Hey, man, what happened to our trip? Let's do it."
Yeah.
He's a Reds fan?
No, he's just a baseball fan. He's actually a Red Sox fan. We were just like, what stadium haven't you been to? What would be a fun stadium to go to? And that's why we were like,
a beautiful park. My buddy was just up the first base line, maybe 30, 40 rows from he sent us a picture. It was gorgeous. You ever been to Pittsburgh, Trav?
I have been to Pittsburgh.
PNC's a really cool park.
I've been to Heinz Field. I've seen PNC Park. I've never been in PNC Park, but
it's neat. It's a cool place.
Yeah. As we head to break, I want to remind you about the Iowa Lottery and grandstand concerts at the Iowa State Fair are still up for grabs in the Concerts Galore promotion from the Iowa Lottery. VIP spectator deck and food and drink, pit tickets, club tickets, and grandstand seats. All options to choose from, plus $200 cash. It can all be yours with a chance at the summer concert experience when you enter your non-winning bonus cash double scratch tickets into your Iowa Lottery VIP club account. For more, go to ialottery.com. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you, my dream job is no job, you know. A front row tickets to every show, you know. Hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie, you know.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles, you know. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
When you work with a company like Mr. Electric that goes above and beyond and makes the customer their priority, that is just a real joy to encounter these days. It was a fairly complicated project and it was intimidating. They made it look so easy and they were very professional, very clean folks. They thoroughly explain what they're going to do. It's clear that they're experienced and that they know what they're doing. Having professionals out there that can do that for me, that gives me a lot of peace of mind.
When I'm meeting a new patient, I want them to feel comfortable knowing that odds are I've seen something like this before.
From the moment a patient steps into the room to the moment the patient leaves the office, I think they're going to get a great experience.
I think it feels good coming in and feeling like it's a community here and you get to be a part of that community and get to be taken care of by that community.
My goal is when they walk out of there to know that I'm fighting for them, I'm pulling for them.
Schedule an appointment at iowauro.com.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
My name's Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat, Norm. Norm knows basketball, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert. Please call me. I would love to help you.
Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bobby here at Willis Volvo Cars, and I'm here to tell you that if you haven't looked at a Volvo in a while, you're in for something amazing. We have cars with 455 horsepower, Bowers & Wilkins audio system, 22-inch wheels, and a ride that would blow your mind. And with 1.99% financing up to 72 months, we'll be able to find the vehicle that you are looking for in your budget. Or call, click, or visit us at willisvolvocars.com. Stop on down to the showroom, take a ride. You'll be glad you did.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
I hope you're stretched, hydrated, and prepared for more nonsense because The Rush with Travis and Ross, presented by Willis Automotive, is back now.
Hey, everybody, refresh your home with floors you'll love. Iowa Floor Covering offers beautiful hardwood, waterproof luxury vinyl, carpet, and tile for every single room in your house. Stop by their Bondurant showroom or go to iowafloorcovering.com for a free quote. Make sure to tell them, hey, I heard about you on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Burger McChick asked this as we go back to the athletic department or athletic director conversation. Question is,
Norm for AD? Is that what Burger McChick says? Norm,
Yeah.
Norm the cat for AD?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Question is not who the Clones hire. Question is who will take the job with the financial difficulties at present.
I mean, it's still a really good paying, good job.
There will be a ton of people who will take the job knowing that, hey, I'm going to get paid $1 million a year. If it doesn't work out, I've made $1 million over the last 5 years. Not saying they don't want to succeed, but there's plenty of people who would take the job.
We've been really, 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 really lucky here. All of you that didn't like Jamie Pollard for whatever reasons, because he blocked you on Twitter or blocked your friend on Twitter or whatever, or he had a cake you didn't like, didn't have beer sales, whatever it was. We were, and I'm throwing myself into Iowa State fans here because I mean Central Iowans. We were so lucky to have this guy for so long because Travis, as you're starting to describe the position, this is the type of position it is. This could be the type of position where inside the office at Notre Dame, there is somebody that's an up-and-comer. And they say, we think that you've got a great future. You need a job like Iowa State for a few years. Would it be great to have that young, visionary, up-and-coming, stepping stone person? Yes. Do you need to be prepared for the fact that you could be going through this again in the next 3 years? Yeah. Yeah. But my point being, we were just lucky to have a guy that stuck around for as long as he did.
Do you think, because I think we all both agree, and by the way, some of the immediate reaction after we got off the air, I was kind of surprised at the number of people said, boy, I hate to see it go, but it was time, right? It was almost like saying...
which I think there's something to that. I think Jamie would agree with that.
Yeah, I think if you go back and listen to our hour with him, and that's why I reposted it, I think there's a lot of telling things that he was sending signals, I think, that entire interview. And you go back and listen to it, like, that's pretty prophetic of what you just said.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with what you just said there. I don't think the game had passed him by. I do think the game has become so exhausting that trying to keep up is just like, I don't have the energy at my age to do this anymore. And by the way, he won't be alone. I texted Keith Mondillo over the weekend, and I said, you're an athletic director, and the last time you were on, you said, the most perfect model is Division III model. I mean, I go, do you see a lot of guys he goes, you're going to see a lot of people Jamie's age, even before retirement age, just drop out. Yep. Cashing out.
Look at the coaches we've seen.
Yep.
Look at the coaches, and it might even have something to do with Michigan. That might just be the case of like, I'm done with this rat race. This isn't what I signed up for. Again, that conversation, is this the job that you initially took? For Jamie Pollard, it's light years from the job he took 22 years ago. Light years.
You can say that for every coach. Look at Bill Fenley, right? I mean, every coach.
Great point. Some of them here, TJ, he's been hip to the game. He's kind of been a visionary and stayed in front of it. And maybe you could say, even though he came up in the old school, you could say he's been pretty good about staying in front of things. We all knocked on Kirk Ferentz, but I've repeated this several times. You got to give them credit for getting the top names in the portal several years. He got into the game, played it well. Travis, I think that a lot of those people stepping out is, it is probably indicative of what it's really like behind the scenes. The thing of it being time for Jamie, I just think that there is a thing that happens where that familiarity breeds contempt. Everything runs its course. Every place I've ever seen, this is what happens. Very rare to get the Kirk Ferentz. Very rare to get the Jamie Pollards. I ran into Keith and Jenny on Friday night at Principal Park for Sam Burnaby bobblehead night. By the way,
look at that. Got young Sam. You got bobblehead Sam. You got old Sam. I like that.
Isn't that cool?
That is super cool.
But speaking of like a guy that you don't get sick of, with Keith Murphy. Murph's been around for most of my life here in Central Iowa. I don't know anybody that's like, I fucking hate. Have you ever met that Keith Murphy dickhead? No, I've never heard anybody say that about him. It's rare to have 20 years and not have people walking around going, who could piss off? Jamie fucking Pollard. Why? Oh, dude, don't you remember? And I know. I like to think I've said this. I like to think I'm a pretty good guy and a pretty nice guy and a pretty fun guy to work with. I've been given Employee of the Year at every job I've worked at some point. It's awesome. And then people finally catch on to the fact that Ross can be a dick. Ross has really bad days too. And when I have a bad day, I have a really bad day. And then it's like, well, I don't want to be around the guy because I don't know which guy I'm going to be with. And I think that Jamie has a little bit of me in him sometimes.
And that's fair because like you, he's not afraid to share his opinions, right? And so you could use the word polarizing.
Yeah.
And Gary Barta, it was time for Gary Barta to leave. Nobody wanted Gary Barta around. And the only reason And the truth is, when Hayden Fry went out the door, everybody was celebrating because we're like, it was time. The only reason Kirk Ferentz enjoys the success he's having now is because he keeps winning. If it got to the point where it was in 1998 for Iowa football, people would be like, it's time to go.
I think the mark of when you look at a 20-year career, I think that the best mark of it is, did you leave the place in a better spot than you found it? And most of the time, if you're around 20 years, you have to, the answer is going to be yes. Hayden Fry teetered that line. He let it go that far. Jamie Pollard, we talked about this briefly on Friday about it's impossible for a guy Tyler Kluver's age, coming of age and coming to consciousness in the early 2000s. It's impossible to know what Iowa State athletics was like in the 80s. Miles behind everybody else in the Big Eight. Like Jim Walden had to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Dan McCarney had to come in and believe in something that nobody else would believe in. And it has started to happen. Johnny Orr has to get some credit there for pumping life into the entire community with Hilton Magic and all that stuff. So, but Jamie Pollard is leaving no matter what happens in the next year. And you can say, oh my God, the football team left, gymnastics scandal, whatever you want to call it. The athletic department is in a different atmosphere than it was when he took over.
Are you surprised, and maybe it's even hard to do this, that maybe there was no succession plan, or if there was, it hasn't been talked about. When Beth Getz was hired under Gary Barta, there was an assumption that Beth Getz would assume the role of athletic director. When she was hired, you go, oh, you were an AD here. You're coming to be an associate. We could kind of see what that succession plan looked like. Are you surprised there maybe was no succession plan? Or is it too complicated now to where you have to, and we keep bringing up people within athletics. Should Iowa State look outside of athletics like the Big 12 did with somebody like Brett Yormark or somebody who's totally different? Do you even need an athletics background now to run an athletic department?
Answer your last question first, no. But go back to your premise. Maybe there is a succession plan.
That's true. That's fair.
We have a year. So it very well could be, and Jamie's been this would be consistent with the Jamie Pollard model. And I'm just thinking again, I could be crazy, but this is what just went through my head. This is what Jamie has kind of done in the past, is like make an announcement. Matt Campbell's leaving. Let him have his flowers. Jimmy Rogers is coming. My point being, maybe the news came out Friday. Jamie Pollard's leaving. Let him have his flowers. Let Jamie have the news cycle for a while. Nobody needs to know what's happening. Get better in the dark type of thing. Nobody needs to know that we've got this plan in the background. And in a month or 2 months, you say, hey, by the way, some of you might be aware of this person here. I don't know who that is. I don't even know what type of person. It's like some people have joked about, Chris Williams, Brent Bloom. I actually hear Brent Bloom and I go, that's not, I don't think it's Bloom. I want to be clear.
Yeah.
That's not crazy for the type of person. If Iowa hired Brad Heinrichs in some sort of role in the athletic department, I'd go, good hire. Good job. Get that guy in the fold. Bloom made chicken salad out of chicken shit for a long time with the We Will. I'm not saying you reward him for that. It's not like, but the kid can do the job. Guy can do the job. Is it somebody like that that's just tuned in with how to milk the cow, man? I don't know. It's not your last question first. It does not have to be a person that has an athletic
background.
Nope.
Yeah. I mean, you might want to look at some innovative company that's totally done things, been a disruptor, and bring in a CEO from there and go, hey.
Did you mention Yormark? I mean, like the the head of the conference doesn't have to be an athlete
or have an athletics background
at all. So why not? Why did we, at what point down the line do we go, okay, from here down you have to have run under a 540 at some point in your life. If from here down. That was
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
David Cook will make this hire. He's the president of Iowa State. Is this the most important position at Iowa State University? Because I believe it is. Now, on the chain of command, it's not at the top, but it's the most visible. It drains the most resources, brings in the most revenue. Is this the most important position at Iowa State University, or or even at Iowa?
I agree with a lot of what you said there. We'll get to it. I think that you're right that it's the most visible. It might be one of the most important because of that. When you say it provides the most resources and it drains the most resources, I have always been under the impression when we talk to these big universities, like when we asked, one of the questions that we asked those ADs is, what's your relationship like with the president? Most of them basically said, I try not to be a nuisance. That was essentially, if I could summarize their 4 answers, it would be, I try not to be in the way. Am I fair in saying that?
They let me I let them do their work. They let me do my work. And if I'm not called to the office, everything's going well.
It's great to have a wonderful relationship with the president.
Yeah.
Was kind of how that went. So I don't know that those things that you said are necessarily true, that it's the most important, most visible. Yes. Is it a super important job at Iowa State? Absolutely. I think the first thing you said, Travis, really, that's the thing I can't get out of my head now, is that this is probably a project manager type of position for the next couple of years, because Chi-Town has to be a success. Not a success necessarily. It's got to be completed. It's got to look good. So whoever gets put in charge of that thing, if that's the athletic director, and I do believe it, because this is kind of Jamie's baby. In fact, maybe this is the plan. What if the plan is to Jamie retires from athletic director and kind of shifts into a project manager role for the last couple of, to finish this thing off? Is that possible?
No, I think he's gonna
walks away.
I think he walks away.
Okay.
He's finishing up his house at Lake Panorama. He's got a home in Arizona. I think it's sitting out on
walk away.
I think he's ready to walk away.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion. I
don't blame him for it. I'm just again.
And all while you have to be a visionary, all while you have to see into the future, you can't forget about your coaches and the culture. Look what's going on at Michigan right now. Michigan spent $11 million on an investigation into their athletic department and the culture. It started in December after Sharon Moore was fired, and they went to this law firm in Chicago, spent $11 million for an investigation. Let me repeat that number one more time. $11 million. And it looks like Ward Manuel's going to get fired. They are the findings have come back. The reports are they're going to meet with him. They're going to go over the findings. He's under contract through 2030, but it appears they're kind of maybe working out a buyout, which is shocking. So as you try to keep up innovative, and this way, you can't forget about your coaches. You can't forget about everything that goes on within your athletic department, because culture still matters as well. You're expected to win, but you got to do it the right way. You've got to you can't have a toxic culture to where the inmates are running the asylum.
Why not?
Why not what?
Why not? Why can't you do what Michigan just did it? Michigan had inmates running the asylum. They let Jim Harbaugh go crazy. They let him go take Jumpman shoes to the Vatican. They let him spend the night at recruits' houses, right? They let him go crazy in the name of winning. They let him hire. Don't tell me everybody didn't know about what was going on with the cheater, the kid. What was his name? What was the dude's name?
I forget his name. I know who you're talking
the
about.
The signal guy. He won.
Yeah.
He got the freaking game ball when they beat Iowa. What a great word, culture. And they decided winning was the most important thing. They decided it. When they hired Harbaugh, it was like, hey, this is either going to go really bad or really good. And I think it goes really bad because that's what Harbaugh, speaking of that, like 20-year thing, Jim Harbaugh lasts 4 or 5 years and people go, I'm kind of sick of this act. And that's what happened at Michigan. And then all of a sudden, Connor Stallions, thank you, Captain Kirk. And then all of a sudden, Jim Harbaugh showed up and said, hey, you guys will really take the leash off this dog. I can win. Do you want to win? So like when you say you can't do this thing, they're spending $11 million on this. How much did they make winning a national title?
But the problem is, if you let it go awry, you turn a blind eye until something happens.
Right.
And when Sharon Moore shows up with a butter knife, attacking it,
Ohio State, Florida. You can go on and on and on. You can do this at a lot of different places. Nebraska.
Yeah.
Nebraska. This can happen. But the thing of like, $11 million. That's a lot of money. And by the way, it's in a time when you've got all these other expenses flying in your face. It's a black eye. It's embarrassing. Is there a single Michigan fan that would trade it?
No.
Nope.
They would take the national championship in basketball. They'll take the national championship in football and say, yeah, it wasn't perfect, but we won.
Did we smudge the rules? Did we use guys that actually came to this university to start their careers and chose Michigan because they wanted to be, forever blue? No, we paid them all to come here. We cheated in order to win. But you know what we have? We got the freaking T-shirt, baby. Natty.
And if Kyle Whittingham wins, they'll say, we got the right coach.
Right. You know why we won? Michigan, because we're Michigan men. Didn't have anything to do with the...
They will always fall back on that too, right?
Didn't have anything to do with Connor Stallions. We would do the same. Everybody would. Everybody would. But this, again, is why I've always been really, really hard on the whole Iowa and Iowa State, they do it the right way. I've hated that. But, man, then when Brad Heinrichs was on with this the other day, and Brad Heinrichs is like, one thing I would like everybody to know, Kirk Ferentz is a really good man. You hear Kluver with us on Friday, and he talks about it. He says, you know what, these guys are really good guys. Really good men. That it does mean something to kind of, the do it the right way. I'm hard on it because I think it gets overplayed and I think it gets used to, it all gets cliche.
I think that's the way because it does mean something, right? Yeah. And cliches, they exist for a reason. They're true. One game at a time is a cliche. Nobody likes to hear it, but it is true. You can't, as a team, you have to take it one game at a time. But it's just like, can you give me something else besides one game at a time? Yeah.
So, that's.
But that'd be a good job. Michigan would be a good job. You have got Purdue's open, Michigan's open, or could be open. Iowa State's open. Just really good jobs out there. Hard jobs. And it doesn't matter if you're in the Big Ten. It's going to be a hard job.
Brian Harden's job is tough. Troy Plummer's job is tough. It doesn't matter where you're at. That athletic director job is getting a squeeze. At this point, I honestly, of all of them that I've named, Plummer might be the dude whose office I would want to be in.
Yeah, because all you're really doing is, hey, how many people can I get to go to school here? And how can I best support my coaches?
Win. And focus on what I want to work. Yeah, which is the people that are here. Winning still matters. It's not about billion-dollar budgets and contracts with players.
Somebody asked it because you put it brilliantly. When you leave a job, can you look at yourself and say, I left the place better than when I found it? I think if you can walk away, whether you're a truck driver, an insurance salesman, anybody, your job's important. And if you left your company and your position better than what you found it, you were a success. And that's why when you asked Brad Heinrichs, was the Swarm a success? Even though his first thing he said was, it's the first business I've ever had that didn't make it.
Yeah.
But you said, is it a success? And the truth is, it was because of the way they were able to keep Iowa competitive.
Yeah.
Somebody asked this earlier in the chat, and is college athletics in a better spot today than before NIL? You were a huge proponent of paying players. I was against it originally. I came around to your way of thinking.
And now you're wondering why you ever came around.
No.
Because this shit's crazy.
But you hear us, one of our cliches is unintended consequences.
Yeah.
We discuss those a lot. Nobody anticipated what that Supreme Court ruling would actually do. You and I both thought, somebody's going to be doing a Willis Automotive commercial.
That's what we thought. Yeah. JCD and Hobby is going to have our, it'll be, guys will get paid for their camp time.
Yeah. You can have a YouTube channel now. You can
right.
You
Those
can produce
are
content.
Exactly the things that we thought it was going to be. And almost to that extent.
The Avalanche picked up speed immediately.
Instantly. They had this plan, Travis. And by they, I do mean like the big dollar donors. Man, it's so funny. You have these moments of realization of like how small of a fry you are in the giant ocean of shit. I think I've told you this story, but I remember, my buddies and I, like my 6 friends that had season tickets. And we were upset about something, why they're not selling alcohol in Kinnick or something dumb, right? You know what we can do? We could not get our season tickets next year. That's one of the things that we could do. At the time, they were like $350. Travis, think about that. We were talking about like $2,000. We'll really show these guys. You 6 people with your season tickets are $2,000. 6 guys. Which is not a small. That's a good chunk. That's a good group of guys. $2,000 in a sea of $1 billion. You are a tiny little thing here, and our tiny little brain said, "Oh yeah, they'll be able to go to Willis Automotive and do appearances and make money." And the big dollar guy said, "Yeah, they're going to go do card shows. They're going to keep showing up at fireworks stands like Jordan Bohannon did. You bet, fellas." And they were writing $1 million checks. And it just be and honestly, Travis, I do think that it's the best thing now is just turn it into a professional model. You can't turn this thing back. You can't turn the machine around and go, all right, now we're going to go back to the old way of everybody's price fixed and the money gets all funneled to the coaches and the ADs and has to get spent on locker rooms. I like the idea of the players getting their cut.
Berger says, this is why the vision question for the prospective AD is a non-starter. Who knows what it'll be like in 5 years?
Great question. That's a great point, Berger. That's a great point.
But I think you have to be able to have a vision of what it's like fortune telling. You have, if you're not thinking about it, here's the problem that an Iowa State athletic director or anybody that's not in the Big Ten or the SEC, because the Big Ten and the SEC are leading this thing. They have all the power. The Big 12 doesn't. The ACC doesn't. It's all lying concentrated in the SEC and the Big Ten. They will determine what happens. And go back to what Jamie Pollard was saying before he retired. Why don't you guys just go off and do your thing, and we'll do our thing. Let's just separate, because we can't play at your level. Not unless Congress steps in and evens this thing out.
Right. All right, can I conspiracy brain for a minute on you?
Sure, I love your conspiracy brain.
What if the president? We got to consider what the president's eventual motive, end game, whatever you want to call it. What's the president want to do? Travis, you were just saying that. I'm like, well, why wouldn't you just bring in somebody that's like an assistant AD at an SEC school? Somebody that's got really good ties to the Big Ten or SEC, hoping that as these games shuffle out and as the card game gets dealt, that maybe you've got an inside track with the big boys. It's who you know. What's the president's motive here? What does the president? Okay, that's really the question we should be asking. Is what kind of person does the president think needs to be in that position, and what would they like to see done with the athletic department in the next 5 years? I think that Berger's onto something like that. 5-year question is an impossible answer, but I do think you're right, Travis, that it's an important one to have an idea. Even if you're wrong, it's really important to be able to say right now, here's what I think. Because if you walk in that room and they go, what do you think can happen in the 5 years? And you go, who fucking knows?
Yeah. Because
I don't know. You guys know?
I would say every good company visions for the future. Now you have to adapt to things that, okay, that didn't happen, so we got to pivot. You have to have a vision, but you have to be adaptable and you have to be able to pivot and think on your feet and don't go, we're screwed.
And I think that's an important part of the answer. What do you think happens in the next 5 years? Boy, I don't know, but here's what I think. I think that scenario A could happen, and this would be the best response. I think scenario B could happen. And I don't even know what those are. I mean, I haven't spent enough time sitting down to think about what that, if somebody asked me that, if I'm in that room and they say, what do you think happens with college athletics in the next 5 years? My answer is going to be like Berger. I have no idea. If you made me guess, I think Congress probably gets involved. They carve an exemption in the antitrust laws for you, and then we get to steal the money again and everything's golden.
515-517-2303. We got an hour in the books. We got an hour to go. Todd Stepsis, head football coach at Northern Iowa, going to be joining us at 7:30. Cats getting ready for media days tomorrow in Sioux Falls. We're going to bypass that and just have a nice little conversation with Todd. Of course, he'll be joining us every Thursday this fall, as he did last year. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job-ionaire. A front row tickets to every show-yonaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie-yonaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles-yonaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery, you can change your life for life. Play today.
At Iowa Floor Covering, we believe great floors start with great service. Whether you're looking for a plush carpet, durable LVP, timeless hardwood, stylish laminate, or beautiful tile, including custom tile showers, we'll help you find the perfect fit. No pressure, no pushy sales tactics, just honest guidance from a team that listens. DIY Weekend Warrior, we've got the products and advice to set you up for success. Iowa Floor Covering, floors you'll love from people you can trust.
There are a lot of reasons to want a self-driving mower from Iowa Mobotics.
Being automated gives me more time to do my hobbies.
I travel so much for work that I don't have time to take care of the lawn, but I still care about how it looks.
And I'm just lazy. Gives me time to work in the wood shop instead of spending it on the mower.
It works in my schedule.
And I just really hate doing it.
No matter your reason, with Iowa Mobotics, spend less time mowing, more time living.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bobby here at Land Rover Des Moines. Summer's here, and we have the perfect cure for summer boredom. The 2026 Range Rover Sport Dynamic with 1.9% financing available is the perfect cure for your boring car or your summer boredom. So stop on down and take it for a ride so you can see what I mean. Or call, click, or visit us at LandoverDesMoines.com or stop out at the showroom. You'll be glad you did.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bread, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Try our newly rebranded granola. Specially handmade, our amazing granola makes for a delightful treat. You can order online, purchase at local grocery retailers, or find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday. We look forward to serving you.
For people who like to save money.
Do you or a loved one suffer from chronic overspending, getting less but paying more? Then you may have a case of big HVAC. Now is the time to try Priority One. We set our own prices, which means you pay for what you need, not for anything else. And if you need a heating service or a new furnace, now is the time to try Priority One.
Side effects of Priority One include increased happiness, extra peace of mind, and bonus cash for whatever you want. Please use responsibly.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Hi, it's Noel. At Fiscus Jewelers, we're honored by the fact that our customers continue to come back on purpose, and that trust means everything to us. For years, we've been privileged to be a part of life's most meaningful moments, and we never take that responsibility lightly. We proudly offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, cutting-edge custom designs, including free CAD drawings, and a team that takes the time to get it right. Thank you for choosing us year after year. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
The Rush, presented by Willis Automotive, is back because apparently Travis and Ross have even more to say.
Or number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive and Willis Nissan. Drive the 2026 Pathfinder for just $199 a month, a stylish sedan with impressive tech, comfort, and value, all at a price that is hard to beat. Start your buying journey at willisauto.com. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. Leave your comments in the comments section. Call the show at 515-517-2303 and follow us on our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X. We do have an X poll up right now. It's from Central City Liquors. Brian Duex wanting to know what product would you like to see on this week's Rush Radio Weekend Special? Do you want it to be bourbon, vodka, tequila, THC drinks? Just go to our X page and I think Rush Mornings, at Rush Mornings, and check it out. Make your vote. And then tomorrow we'll go from the category to the product. We'll have some products that could, you get to determine what you want, what gets on sale.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute there. If I am reading the chat correctly, and the chat goes pretty quickly, but man, it seems like we got a lot of THC drink fans in the chat. So I could see the THC drinks winning the poll.
Right now, tied for second. Bourbon at 40.6%, tequila at 25%. Vodka at 9.6% or 9.4%, and THC drinks at 25%. So
okay.
It's tied with
bourbon.
Tequila.
Bourbon's still like, when I think of Central City, I think of that.
Yeah.
Donnie wrote, Ross, how was Eagle Grove? Oh, it was fantastic. We talked about it in the first hour, Donnie. Sorry about that. Yeah, we got into that. Had a wonderful weekend, man. iCubs, dude. Perfect nights. Friday night with the fireworks after the Hawkeye game, after the Cubbies game, singing "Go Cubs Go." The beautiful sunset behind downtown Des Moines. And then Saturday night up at Eagle Grove, it was the same thing. It was just like gorgeous. Last night I was at up in Ankeny for Summerfest up there. Same thing. We had a wonderful weekend. By the way, I need to come up and get the Starlink because I'm going to be doing some road travel.
Well, I'll be up there on Wednesday.
Oh, cool.
So
okay.
Now, I don't know if I can make a stop or not because we're going to the Tyler Childers concert. So I don't know when I'm going to get out of here. And I might have you hang over the 42nd Street Bridge, and I'll just throw it up as we drive by.
I mean, I do live a long ways off the freeway, so I'm a long ways out of the way.
That's fair. I'll talk to Owen and Lizzie, see what time we can get out of here. Hopefully, we can get a little bit early.
That's very cool. I didn't know you were coming for the concert, the Tyler Childers concert tomorrow night.
Tyler, that's
Casey
Wednesday
Center?
night. Yeah, at Casey Center.
Very cool. Very cool.
So that'd be a long, drive there, drive all the way back. I'll be tired on Thursday morning, but I can handle it because I'm not going to drink for a long time after the weekends that I've had.
I have a fun day today.
Oh, really?
I have a day today that, I'm buying a new car today, Trav.
You are? Tell me it's at Willis Automotive.
Where? No, of course. Of course.
Now document this buying experience so we can post it on our social media channel.
I will be sure to do that. Well, that's why I was excited to come over and get the Starlink from you because I'm thinking I got to start doing some road trips here to get some miles on this bad boy.
Now, this is a big deal because besides the house, it's like the first loan you've ever had, right?
I have zero credit.
Did they say, Ross?
We talked about this on the show before.
No.
I've been a good boy. Meaning my dad, when I was a kid, said, don't get credit cards. And not that we were like, it wasn't like my dad was scrapped with that. My dad has amazing credit. But dad told us as kids, like, hey, don't get credit cards. Not good. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Well, I'm 50 years old and I've kind of lived by that motto my whole life. But including buying cars. I always bought old cars that I could write a check for or hand them the cash for. So, yeah, this is, besides the house, this is like the second loan I've had in my life. So, here we go.
Did that make it harder? Were they like, you don't have any credit rating?
Yeah, it made it impossible. It makes things anyway.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's
the
big
Nissan Rogue. You getting the Rogue?
Excited. I'm getting a Rogue 30 mile. I keep seeing the Pathfinders. I'm like, I should have just bought the Pathfinder.
You're gonna like the gas mileage.
I am, and I keep thinking it's twice the gas mileage in the Rogue, and that's what I really need. I drive so much. I don't need that third row. So anyway, thought it through. Had some great help with my friend Chris at Willis, and yeah. So getting her done today. Excited.
I was thinking about you this weekend, and then I was desk scrolling at some point, and a 1988 baseball highlight came up. And this is going somewhere, so bear with me. But a 1988 baseball highlight of when Will Clark made a hard slide into second, and an all-out brawl with the Cardinals started. I mean, it was an all-out fisticuffs brawl. Will Clark taking on the entire infield before everybody got out there, right? I mean, it was worthy. You're like, yeah, this is a Royal Rumble. And then I watch, and this is becoming typical in baseball now. You watched the Royals and the Orioles yesterday, and Blaze Anderson got hit on the hand. It didn't look intentional. He got a broken bone, but the bench is clear. And they get you with the headline, bench is clear in Orioles-Royals game. Well,
you're mad because nobody started throwing haymakers?
Yeah, because it's so stupid. It is. It's almost just... It's peacocking without doing anything. And the dumbest thing is they go to the outfield shot and they open up the wall and both bullpens run out together. It's like, you first.
And they're like jogging out
what
together.
What are we doing here?
The fat guy jog.
What are we doing? I mean, Donnie says sissy fights. They're not even fights. They're just looking at each other going, want a piece of me? Want a piece of me? Yeah, you want a piece of me? And these guys in the bullpen run 100 yards. And it's almost like they're talking to each other. Why are we doing this? Because the bullpens are like together. They come out the same door.
What should happen with the bullpens? In a hockey fight, like two dudes will just grab onto each other. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to fight. They just the two guys are fighting. They're really throwing down, and the other two guys from the team, they just kind of grab each other and hold on and watch. The bullpens should come out and just like get together and like what in case stuff starts to happen, then they can grapple. And the bullpen should have to fight each other like goalie fights. I think we're on to something here, Travis. Let's send this up the flagpole. In fact, maybe this is how extra innings should just be settled. Send your best warrior to center field.
But I'm watching this 1988 baseball highlight. Will Clark not backing down from anybody. The Cardinal first or second baseman and shortstop, or they're swinging.
Cardinal first baseman, or so in '88. Would Ozzie Smith?
No, I don't think it was Ozzie.
Throwing down.
No.
Huh. Now I want to look up who was on the '88 Cardinals. I by the way have learned that Tommy Herr, Will Clark was a dick. I didn't know that. Have you ever heard that?
I never heard the story of Will Clark being a dick.
Jeff Pearlman actually wrote an article that was called like Will Clark is the worst human I've ever met or something like that. It like going in on him. Guess the guy is kind of well known as like a.
He was a good baseball player though, but just because,
dude,
there's probably a lot of
the thrill. What a great nickname.
There's probably a lot of bad people, and when we say bad, just not nice people. We want our athletes to be our heroes. We want them to be perfect, but there are some who are just like, nah, I'm not gonna be.
Ozzie Smith was on the 1988 team. Bob Horner was the first baseman back in 1988. It's funny because if you would have asked me, Ross, how old was Bob Horner in 1988? I would have said 54. He was 54 playing first base for the St. Louis Cardinals that year. Bob Horner was 30 years old in 1988. They had Terry Pendleton, Vince Coleman, Willie McGee, Tom Brunansky. Jose Oquendo was on the team. He was a utility player. Pedro Guerrero. Now, if Pedro Guerrero's coked up, he's going to be a tough out. Tommy Herr was on the team. Have you ever heard the 911 call of O.J. Simpson and Pedro Guerrero?
No.
Oh, you don't know that story? Yeah, there's a 911 call of O.J. Simpson calling 911. And he like over and over and over is repeating, you need to get here. It's Pedro Guerrero. He's like overemphasizing his name. So that thing, he knows it's being recorded. I need somebody to get here because Pedro Guerrero is coked out of his mind and he's.
I'm going to have to go look for that after the show.
I'm
O.J. Simpson.
I hope I'm not making this up in my head. I hope I didn't besmirch the good name of O.J. Simpson or Pedro Guerrero. O.J. Simpson and Pedro Guerrero were unexpectedly linked in October 99 when Simpson made a frantic 911 call from his Florida townhome. Simpson called the police to report that his 26-year-old girlfriend had been on a 2-day drug binge with Pedro Guerrero, who was concurrently facing federal cocaine conspiracy charges. Simpson told the dispatcher, quote, I'm trying to get a girl to go to rehab. She's been doing drugs for 2 days with Pedro Guerrero, who just got arrested for cocaine. Yeah, so see, that was in my brain waiting to be pulled on.
Look at OJ showing restraint. He walks in with his girlfriend and another guy. Says, I got two options here. I've got two options. I've been in one option before. I'm going to pass on that and just call 911.
Are you a Norm Macdonald fan?
Yeah.
My like Twitter feed and X feed will get, or and the Facebook feed will get, I'll get into this Norm Macdonald reels. And one popped up the other day and it was him doing Weekend Update. And he's like, Thurman Thomas over the weekend broke O.J. Simpson's Buffalo Bills record for career touchdowns. Earlier this year, he broke the O.J. Simpson's Buffalo Bills record for rushing yards in a career. And later this year, in order to remove Simpson entirely from the Bills record books, Thurman Thomas is going to attempt to kill 3 people at once. Oh, Norm.
And it's the way he delivers it.
It was really good.
Yeah, and you either loved Norm Macdonald or you hated his
It's
guts.
true. Yeah.
There was no in between.
Yeah.
Just
There's
no
a great
in-between.
Iowa story with him, University of Iowa story with him.
Well, I'll never forget. He was here in Omaha. Child Saving Institute hired him to do their comedy or their night.
Oh no!
Oh, it was bad. It was really bad. So bad that he got done and said, "I'm not taking your money," because they more or less asked him to leave the stage.
Wow.
But
same thing happened in Iowa City. He was basically like, kicked out. Like it was a 2-night event and they didn't ask him to come back the second night type of thing. Jim Brewer tells this hilarious story. And basically they told him like, hey, there's kids in the room, so work clean. And he was like, yeah, no problem. And he walked out there and his first joke was like, now listen, if you're gay, I get being the top guy, but why would you want to be the ass guy? They're like, kids. And he just went in.
And I think I was there the night he bombed it. I was laughing, but it was one of those things where you kind of read the room like, I want to laugh, but I can't laugh, right? Child Saving Institute, they do a lot of things, but they kind of lead adoptions and foster care, right? Hey, why would you want to adopt a kid?
They had to, I mean, somebody in that room had to go, hey guys, you know what we're getting here, right? You know he's going to come in. Anyway. So
Did you watch
Pedro Guerrero and O.J. Simpson linked to O.J. was trying to save that young girl.
Do you think O.J. did a little bump before he called 911? The stuff that goes through my head.
You guys got to stop this. Why are you? Where's that girl at?
Pedro Guerrero.
You got it. That's exactly how it went.
Did you watch UFC fight? Did you see
No.
Conor McGregor?
No.
You know what? I tell you what, she's a marketing genius. Sophie Cunningham is brilliant. She was a ring girl.
I saw this. I saw her walk around. I saw that. Yeah.
And I'm sure some people will be like, hey, what are you doing at a UFC fight? Are you a right winger because you're at a UFC fight?
Jesus. Is that really what it is?
Not yet, but I mean, now UFC's, because they had it at the White House, everybody who goes to UFC fight is a right winger. But she's smart. Yeah. She goes out, does her thing, personable, pointing at people, turns around, scores 20 points last night, hit 6 3-pointers as the Fever beat the Aces with Asia Wilson, crushed them.
So, all right, a couple things. Number one, also great marketing by UFC and Dana White.
Yeah.
But apparently that happened like last minute. Did you hear that? That was not planned to do that.
Yeah.
She basically walked in and saw the ring. She's like, I want to walk around that thing. And Dana White's like, you were doing that.
She knew the possibility. Dana knew the possibility. It was like
very smart by both of them.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very smart by both of them. I will also tell you this. This is going to sound really crude and rude, but it's true. I didn't initially recognize it as Sophie Cunningham. Okay? But I have seen a lot of UFC fights in my life. I've seen a lot of UFC ring girls in my life. I did instantly recognize it as not a UFC ring girl.
Not big enough boobs?
That's something. I've always thought Sophie Cunningham, I've said it many times on it, she's gorgeous. She is a gorgeous woman. Instantly, it popped up and I was like, who's that? That's not a UFC ring girl. Oh, that's Sophie Cunningham. It's like, how did I know rinse? What was that instant reaction of like, that's different. And maybe it was boob size. I don't know. But again, it's.
I mean, she was scantily clad. I wouldn't say over, but not like you normally see with a ring.
And that
girl.
might be part of it because it was such a last minute thing of she was basically wearing what she had worn to the UFC. Maybe they put her in something a little different, so she was in all black or something. I don't know. But yeah, maybe that's Berger just said modestly dressed. It wasn't. But yeah, most of those UFC girls are stacked. Probably fake boobs.
But look what she did for her brand.
Dude, it's so smart by all of it. UFC to do it. You asked me, did I watch that fight? Like, no. Hell no. I knew it was going to be a joke. I told you when you told me it was happening. I'm like, these guys are not past their prime. They're way past their prime. You are not watching the best in the world compete when you watch the UFC. And this weekend was another example of it. Guys that should not be considered the best in the world. They're not the best in the world. They're not even close. They're not in the top. If you were to really do it, not in the top 20. Conor McGregor, he hadn't won a fight. He hadn't won back-to-back fights in 10 years.
Hadn't fought in 5. Now, the conspiracy theory is that his leg was injured before the fight even started.
Yeah.
You're going to have conspiracy theories. Rogan said it was he tried a kick that you just don't do that early on, and he tore his ACL. So that would put him. He's got to be done, right? I mean,
I don't think his knee was hurt beforehand, even though there's all sorts of conspiracy. I think seen the thing with Mel Gibson telling Vince Vaughn his knee's messed up. I don't think if his knee were messed up, he would have tried that sort of move right away. I think he would have played it a little bit more conservatively if he would have known he was actually injured. I believe what Rogan said, that he probably heard it in that opening move. And again, this is just I didn't watch it. I just saw the highlights of it because I saw people going, well, what a joke what kind of the fix was in. I wouldn't have spent a dime on this thing.
How much does a UFC? Was it a pay-per-view?
No
was
idea.
it a? Yeah, I don't know either. What do you think about the? We didn't bring this up because they started on Friday dismantling the water tower by Kinnick Stadium. The logoed water tower is coming down.
Yeah, they waited way too long to throw that Tiger Hawk on that thing, man. Way too long. I mean, apparently it needed to come down.
Because they're going to put a $1.2 billion medical facility there, and yes, you heard me right, $1.2 billion.
What about our water tower?
They built a new one in Lot 75. So there's a new one with a Tiger Hawk on it, and it says Iowa. But there's that water tower cost $25 million. This water tower has seen its better days. It's empty now, and they're only going to tear it down on weekends. So they're going to work from Friday to Monday mornings at 3 a.m. So it's only weekend work. Should be fully dismantled. Whatever happened to the good times where you just implode that thing like a building? Why do you got to take it apart piece by piece? I
don't think they can with what's around it, can they?
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a rural water tower that you can have, they can. Those are fun. Those videos, those are fun videos. But people die doing that. I think a guy died in Iowa in the last 10 years.
Really?
With the water tower going down. Pretty sure. But they are cool videos.
Speaking of cool videos, my wife is getting so frustrated with me because I'm now addicted to, and these police departments are getting smart, and they're releasing like 25-minute interactions with traffic stops.
Oh, dude,
I can't stop. I get sucked into the traffic, and they never disappoint. It started with this Pinal County, Arizona Fridays with Frank type thing, and now everybody's releasing their crazy videos, and I'm like, oh, there's some really dumb people out there.
And I would say it's the worst part about cops is that they're people, and that sometimes it's the cop that's the idiot in an interaction. Have you seen the one with the lady with her missing hand?
No. I have seen it. Yeah, yes.
It's amazing.
You're texting. She goes,
you were holding a phone in your right hand, and she holds up her stump. And she's like, you sure about that? Are we done here? And he's like, no. I need you to raise your hand and swear to God that you weren't holding a phone. And she holds her stump back up and goes, swear to God. He goes, your other hand, you. But most of the, I'm with you, Trav. I get into those videos.
And
I don't know how the cops do it a lot of times.
Either do I. I would say for the most part.
Overwhelming. The cops are in the right with it. Yes.
And every time they have to knock out a window because you won't give your insurance and driver's license, they wait like 10 minutes. They're like, we're going to bust your window in. It's not like they go in wanting to bust the window. They don't want to bust the window.
Mark Hawks. The sovereign citizen ones. And then if you really get into the sovereign citizen rabbit hole, you will get into the courtroom sovereign citizen. Have you seen these?
Oh, yeah.
The guy that was in front of a judge and he starts reading off ChatGPT. I do not consent to be a member. As a sovereign citizen, I am not. Judge is like, do you even know what you're saying? I do not consent to. No. It's so, dude. First Amendment auditors. I got to tell you, you know who is this close to being a First Amendment auditor? And I mean, he's like, I don't even know what the tipping point is. If it's like a parking ticket or something. My brother is I've said that my brother's the greatest brother in the world. He's amazing. But he's like a cartoon character. He's one of these guys that like, if you go someplace and it's debit card only, he'll like make it. He'll be like, it says legal U.S. tender right here on my cash. I could pay for this. This is America. I'm telling you.
Hey, if you're not feeling right, don't ignore it. Treat it, but treat it your way. Urology Center of Iowa has a dedicated men's health wellness center designed to restore your confidence and your comfort and put you back in control. Because at UCI, you will get personalized treatment based on you and nobody else. You deserve a clear plan, a private, tailored experience, and judgment-free care. That's UCI. Schedule an appointment with UCI at iowauro.com. When we come back, Todd Stepsis, head coach of the Northern Iowa Panthers, joins us on the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you my dream job is no job, you know. Front row tickets to every show, you know. Hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie, you know.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles, you know. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
Hey everybody, Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Mini Des Moines, and this month the heat is on so the roof comes off. Get an all-new Mini convertible with rates as low as 2.99 out to 60 months. If you're looking for something more year-round, you can get into an all-new 2027 Countryman with rates as low as 2.99 out to 48 months on here. Also, we are down to our very last Victory Edition, so if you want to cross the finish line, come check it out now. For more information on these exciting offers and more, visit us online at minidesmoines.com or your favorite motoring advisor.
So I think what's unique about Urology Center of Iowa is that we are a truly independent, single specialty clinic.
We have a mantra that the patient comes first, the group comes second, and we as individual surgeons come last.
When I meet with a patient for the first time, I want them to feel heard. I never want them to feel like I'm in a rush.
Just watching the change that you can make in a patient's life, it's everything.
Schedule an appointment at iowauro.com.
Fresh, wild walleyes. This summer, point your compass north to Ballard's Resort on Lake of the Woods. Ballard's Lake of the Woods long-standing family resort offers a pole-in-hand guided fishing experience along with all-inclusive packages that include lodging and meals. Chase 10-pound trophies with the walleye capital of the world's most established fleet. Your adventure for fresh, wild walleyes awaits at Ballard's Resort. Set the hook at ballardsresort.com.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner of Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. Whoop. So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
The World Cup is heating up, and so are we at Willis Nissan. This July, you can score big with 0% on the rugged Frontier, the practical and fuel-efficient Murano, the full-size Pathfinder, and the compact and modern Rogue. And with up to $5,000 in available customer cash on these models, the savings are even better. So stop into our showroom or head online to willisnissan.com today.
The Rush, presented by Willis Automotive, returns now with fresh sports takes and at least one unnecessary rant.
If you need a mortgage for your home, Gary Presnall with Northwest Bank is the man you want to call because he's been financing residential homes over 25 years. Offers VA, FHA, IFA first-time buyer loans and conventional and new construction loans. All approvals done locally by Northwest Bank. He can get your loan pre-approved in 30 minutes and can happen after hours during the week and even on the weekends. Gary's been the state of Iowa's top producing mortgage banker the past 8 years. You want a trusted mortgage banker, and that's Gary Presnall. Give him a call at 515-975-6767. Football right around the corner, coming up on Thursdays during the fall. Todd Stepsis is going to be joining us every Thursday. Today, he joins us on a Monday.
What's up, Coach?
What's up, Coach?
Hey, boys. Good to see you. How's your summer been?
Fast.
Wonderful. And still, Travis wishes it away, I feel like.
No.
We got to June or July 4th. And with the first day after July 4th, he's like, all right, Ross, are you one of those people that feels like the summer is over now that you've hit July 4th? I'm like, summer just started, dude. Summer just started. We have months ahead of us. This weekend was beautiful. The weather was fantastic. I got to go to a county fair for the first time. I've never been to a county fair, Coach.
No, what?
I've never been to one. Well, dude, I'm a city kid. I lived in Des Moines my entire life. I've never had an address outside of Polk County.
But you travel 15 minutes outside Des Moines, like you're gonna find some farmland now.
I grew up on the edge of town. I grew up where farmland was 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It never was on my radar. I never did one. I loved it. So I had Iowa. How about you? How's your summer been?
Oh, it's been great. Fast. Every year it feels like it goes by faster. The girls are slowed down a little bit with sports. That softball season, volleyball season kind of wrapped up, at the end of June. And then we got a chance to take some time. Me and my family went down to Florida. Florida in July sounds great. Yeah, I know. But, it's just a good, like this time of year for us is really, really needed. I think a lot of people could probably relate with, like a schedule being very structured and very scheduled out for the majority of the year. And so, we got time. We spent some days down right on the beach at St. Pete's. And, and when you're staying on the beach, you get the breeze. So it's not as hot as like people are like, man, Florida in July, are you crazy? But we have a strict no alarm clock rule when we're down there. We don't have excursions planned or anything other than, hey, you get up, you have some coffee, work on a puzzle, play catch on the beach, jump in the ocean when you get hot. There's a pool right there too. And so, it's a great place that we stay. My father-in-law, it's his best friend's house. And so, he's very gracious to let us use it for, that short amount of time in July. And the house is great, but, more importantly for me, like my heart, my mind, my soul, to be able to unplug some and be with my family. And I mean, we had a lot of laughs and it was just good quality time with the girls.
So when you first started coaching, and I'm curious about this because you mentioned the time when you first started coaching, and you're a young guy. Is the time off less now than what it was when you got in? I mean, or
Yeah, it is, but it's just because things have evolved a little bit. So when I first started coaching, you guys probably are aware, in June is a big prospect camp month. I mean, there are, if anywhere in really even in this region, you'll be able to find a prospect camp going on in the month of June every day of the week. So
Wow.
whether it's us, Iowa State, Iowa, and then, man, you can go, up to Minnesota, or you can go over to Nebraska, or you can go into Illinois, or down into Missouri. Like every single day, there's an opportunity for not only a kid to compete at a camp, but then for you to maybe sneak down to one of those camps and evaluate somebody. But some of them are non-padded, so you kind of take a little bit of what you see with a grain of salt. But like
Can you
measurables, like
you're at
height,
those-
weight, speed.
When you're at those, can you actually have contact with the kid, or do you have to avoid? You can. Okay.
You
okay.
can, yeah, you can talk to them, and a lot of times, you wait till the camp's done, and two, a lot of times, you kind of already know who you're looking for, but you'll have those, those times where, who's that guy? We don't know about him, and so, like back when I first started coaching, those didn't even exist. And so I remember, when I was a grad assistant, my summers were spent bartending at a country club. So it's slinging drinks, Monday
fun.
through Sunday.
I bet that was fun.
It was. I think back to those 2 years getting my master's degree, and that was the best I got at golf. And I like to play, but it's just the time commitment's really tough. And I'll play 9 holes if somebody wants to do that, but a lot of times it's 18 holes with.
Are you like most athletes that we know, coach, where if we were to go golfing today, if we had a 2:00 tee time, your first drive would be sprayed 3 fairways over, but your 6th drive would be piped down the middle of the fairway? Are you?
Yeah, it's pretty inconsistent. Yeah. That is exactly how it goes. Like I can advance the ball, and it's going to go fairly in a decent direction. And I'll hit a really good one, and then I'll have a great drive, perfect lie, and duff the next shot goes 20 yards, so I'll 3 and 4 putt consistently.
Inconsistent mediocrity, man. It's the story of my athletic career, coach.
But I like to play, but that we would play. So some country clubs were closed. Ours was anyway, the one I worked at, on Mondays, and so employees could play, and we would play 30. Yeah, we played 36 holes.
Well, it's impressive that they let you play, because most of the country club, the one I belong to, God, that sounds so pretentious.
And that's okay. And all the other ones that you know about.
But they usually have the outings at the clubs. So when you play, that's why most outings are on Monday, because they close the clubs down because they can rent those out and make money that way.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't play in prestigious enough outings, coach, because most of mine don't happen on Mondays. So I just learned something.
I was gonna say, we have one this coming Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Yeah,
Thursday, exactly right. That gives you an idea where our I'm a Thursday outing guy, coach. That's me. Yeah. Hey, I do want to ask something. I wrote down a couple things already, but I want to go back to the family stuff. Do you get to see much softball? The girls are playing softball, you said. Do you get to experience that much?
In the spring, I definitely did.
Okay.
Cool.
So
my oldest is now in middle school, and up here, which we didn't do this in Des Moines, but they have middle school teams, so her middle school was playing the Hudson Middle School and playing the Janesville Middle School and playing, Don Bosco's middle school. And so it was neat to be able to, kind of sneak out of the office, watch, because softball's great. It's about an hour and 15 minutes. It's pretty fast paced, in and out.
And this is a good thing for you, because now that instead of being a club team, she's with her actual schoolmates. You get to meet some of those parents and some of those kids that she's actually in school with. That's a lot better than the Des Moines. I shouldn't say a lot better, just different than that Des Moines model, which that's fantastic. Yeah, they're middle school, very few sports in middle schools.
Yeah,
that's
fun
in Des Moines.
Yeah,
very cool.
Now the fall, it's tough. The fall is tough to see them, but once we get out of the season, you can kind of carve out some time and check it out. So
I want to go to the prospect camps.
Oh yeah.
So obviously look, are these camps that are on campus? You can go to somebody else's campus so you can go to watch Iowa, and is that how that works?
Oh yeah, and you would be blown away with some of the size of these camps. I mean, you're talking about 60 colleges like that show up, and 400 to 500 campers, in the morning, and then another 400 to 500 campers in the afternoon. I mean, these things
are these all like juniors, seniors, all seniors?
It's really evolved. Again, like, gosh, man, I just think back to when I started coaching. I mean, you didn't know who you were getting until after a kid's senior year. I mean, there was none of this stuff when I first started. The senior year would be done, and then it was like a 2-month sprint of like December would hit. And then there were all these recruiting nights where you'd go to a hotel, and then each room was a school, and you just kind of snake up and down the hallways, and they'd hand you VHS tapes, and you'd hand them one back that they could retape over. And,
here's my huddle link.
Yeah. There's all of that. You can find anybody now, but then now so I was just having this discussion with my staff because we had one yesterday. And so the FBS schools can only do them in June. But then, FCS D2, D3, NAI, you can do them in July. And so we get we'll do 2 in June and 2 in July. Well, in June, the big schools, they're the ones getting a lot of attention from these kids. Some seniors to be, but really not a ton, because a lot of those kids know where they're going already. Wow. And so it's a lot of, class of 28s, class of 29s, that are showing up and kind of getting on people's radar. It's just, it blows my mind. And so our camp yesterday, I just think in my head, so right now we have 20 guys committed that are going into their senior year already, that they haven't played it down their senior season. And so that limits the opportunities that we have left. And so these guys that are coming to camp yesterday, these seniors to be, like some of them they're going to have to wait because, gosh, is there going to be any movement on our rosters? Is a guy that's committed decide to go somewhere else and open up an opportunity? And so it's bonkers.
How do you build in the opportunity for a kid that's really, we all know a 16-year-old that looked like a kid, and then by the time he graduated, he looked like a 25-year-old man. How do you build in an open spot for that kid that's a late developer?
Yep. So you have to have a little bit of guts, and this is a philosophy thing. And it's a little bit of a gamble too, but I do believe there's more high school talent now than ever because, again, there's schools aren't recruiting as many high school kids. They're saving spots for, transfers and all that stuff. So I think the gamble is a little bit more in your favor when you do it, but you save spots. You say, okay, we're going to save one D line, one O line, a running back, a receiver, because we are no different. So one of our incoming freshmen is Caden Klein from Newton. He was one of the best players in the state last year. Almost beat Xavier in the semifinals by himself in the Dome. And that was the first time that we saw him, so, we're watching the semifinal game and then watching this kid just annihilate people. Making people miss and look silly, running away from people. And so you just have to you have to have a little bit of patience. I know sometimes it's easy when you see schools getting commitments early, you kind of push the panic button. Are we behind? But I'm a firm believer in there's a lot of growth that happens between junior and senior year. I also think too, when you're thinking about great programs in high school, sometimes that junior is buried behind an Iowa kid. A kid is going to Iowa and doesn't get much playing time, but he's not that much, he's maybe the only reason he's not playing is because he's an underclassman.
I think about Southeast Polk with that. How many guys were juniors playing behind Xavier Wampa and Caden Proctor? Yeah.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. So Coach Z, I can't remember what year it was, but they ended up winning the state title. And I walked into the school in May, and okay, who are your guys? And he hands me a sheet. I think his son was going into his senior year. So his son was a really good player, But then there was like this list of all these guys. He goes, I really don't know much about any of these guys. He haven't played yet. And they're like all juniors, going to be seniors. And then they end up winning a state title. So obviously there was guys on there
Tons
that
of
were
talent.
good high school players and good college prospects.
So you've got me, or go ahead, Ross.
Do you have a idea, like a formula in your head? You say want to save one spot or a couple of spots like that. Do you have a formula in your head where it's like, we want to have 20% transfers. We want to have 20% of guys that are headed up, 20% of guys that are coming down, 60% that are, I mean, do you have, is there something like that in your head each year of, I'm allowing these many transfer ins, da-da-da?
Yeah, we actually think fill the roster with freshmen, so we're a little bit probably different than some places. But for us, I think the transfer part where we apply that is if we do lose somebody after the season, like all of a sudden, a bigger school maybe plucks one of our better players. Well, then it's like, okay, we're getting that scholarship back. Let's see what's out there in that room. But I think at the same time, if you do build it the right way, and by building it the right way in the recruiting process, doing your homework, okay, who are your kind of guys, who not only have the talent to play the position that you want to play, but like who has the high character, who has the strong role models, who are the guys that are going to do whatever it takes to not only be their best, but be a great teammate and a great friend and a great campus member. Really honing in on the character piece, the academic piece. And so if a guy gets plucked, if that room is built the right way, you're okay with going next man up. I also think this 5 for 5 rule, to be able to play some freshmen right away and not have to burn a shirt. Well, then all of a sudden, if a guy gets plucked, you don't feel as bad. Okay, this guy is a second-year player, but he did play a lot as a freshman, so it's not like he's just brand new. But I think too, if it's a room that's younger and an older guy leaves, then finding an older guy from a different team, as long as he fits what you need, I think that's where our formula kind of shifts, where we really want to go high school, but then if we need an older guy after the season, let's pursue it then.
Okay, cool.
So you're getting ready to go to Sioux Falls tomorrow for media days. We're kind of anti-media days, guys, just because we've lived through them enough that they are what they are, right? I mean, having a conversation like this, do you like them? Yeah, okay, so you get it. You're like, what are we doing here, right? Are they at least flying you to Sioux Falls, or do you have to drive?
No, we're driving. So we'll leave about 1:30 today, and it's kind of neat because it's always one of those things where I'm like, oh man, we got to do this. Again, it kind of crept up on me this week, and I'm like, oh crap, the media days for this week. But then after you do it, you're like, oh, that was kind of fun because, so we'll drive out. It's about 4 hours from here. We'll leave here about 1:32. And then when we get there, the head coaches, they take us to a nice dinner. So that's, contrary to probably what a lot of people think, when coaches do get together, the majority of them are pretty good guys. And so that's a majority. Fun time.
I believe there's certain guys you don't want to sit by. You're like, I don't want to.
Yeah, they're definitely.
But everybody wants to sit by you because with you, everybody's like, who's that guy?
I'm amazed, Travis. I'm amazed Travis didn't ask you. So who don't you want to sit by, Coach? Who is it that you're trying to avoid tonight?
Because I know he wouldn't answer it, so I didn't.
Well, no. To be honest, there really isn't a guy in our league that I'm like, oh man, get that guy away from me. They're all, like I said, it's, you obviously are a competitor and you want to get the best of them on a Saturday, but for the most part, guys are pretty down to earth. They're good family guys. And so this league, and really the league I came from too, just, good people in general and enjoy conversations with them. So that dinner's fun. And then you bring a couple players with you and they go out to a Top Golf thing and have a good time on tonight, Monday night, and then the Tuesday media obligations. It's pretty quick and painless. And then you end up you drive back and you're like, oh, okay, that wasn't too bad. And then I think players probably like it more than the coaches, to be honest.
So your predecessor, who we were good friends with, always called the Missouri Valley Conference the SEC of FCS football, right? I mean, now that North Dakota State is out of the league, does it still hold that mantra? Does it still have that same firepower?
Yeah, it does. Now again, like you lose at school like that. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of a hit. I mean, geez, I mean, what a powerhouse coaches you don't want to sit next to. He is a good guy, but man, that was one like, man, you guys are so good. That was more of a, I don't want to sit next to you because like, gosh, could you guys just stop winning?
Because the weight of your rings, the gravity of my salad slides towards you as you put your rings on the table. Yeah.
Right. But, you know, if you look at the preseason rankings, and they haven't come out yet, but I'll bet you we have 6 teams that are probably top 15. And again, if you look at last year's playoffs, our teams did really well. And then we had a team, Illinois State, come out of nowhere, make it to the finals. And then again, like, you know, everybody's the perfect coach from the couch. And, you know, you watch that game and they really should have won it. You know, they had the ball late in the game, had a field goal blocked to win it. And they had it won, and then it got to overtime and ended up losing. But you know, there's a team in our league that I think finished. I mean, they almost didn't even make the playoffs. I think they were definitely an at-large because they didn't win the league, but you know, they were right on the border of not even making it. And they made it to the finals, so it's legit. League's legit, and I don't know, man. SEC of the FCS, the Big Ten now, like that.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah,
that's the league.
That's
it's
fair.
Pretty amazing.
Big Ten. I like that. All right, so Trav, I wish I would have thought of this and sent you the video again. You did something really fun in spring ball, Coach. You probably did a lot of fun things in spring football. The one that I saw, Travis, do you remember me sending you the video of his kick returner returning against all the kids?
I don't.
It was fantastic. It was. So, Coach, can you walk us through like how this came about and what happened here?
Right. So it was during the spring game, and when you have a smaller roster in the spring, you need to build in breaks for those position groups that maybe are a little bit light. And so throughout that spring game, we'll do different competitions. Usually just involving the team. So whether it's like a punt, pass, and kick, or we'll get the offensive linemen and defensive tackles out there trying to catch a punt. So do some fun things that break up the drives. But we end it kind of the same way we started it. So we did a free kids camp before the spring game. I think we had 250 plus kids for an hour that our players worked out. Well, then we ended it where hey, anybody that's still here that's under the age of 8th grade, we're going to do a kickoff cover drill, and you guys are the kickoff team, and we're going to have our kick returner back there, and we're going to see if you guys can tag him. And so there's probably, I don't know, maybe 60 kids that they're spread out across the field. Our kicker kicks a nice high one right to the goal line. So of course the little kids, man, it looks like a mile to run down there to tag him. And so of course our kick returner starts one way and then breaks the other way. And so kids are getting kind of close to him, and he stiff arms one of them. And then on video, it looks way worse than it probably was. But I mean, that kid, like, feet come out from underneath him, down he goes. And our guy ends up like kind of backpedaling in the end zone, kind of taunting all the kids. But yeah, it was pretty hilarious.
I wish I tried to find it, Trav, before I asked the question. I even tried to Google it so I could send you the video because it was fantastic. I thought I'd sent it to you back then. Maybe I didn't. To say,
see,
man, we got to talk to Coach
building one
about
fan
this.
at a time. We talk
Really
about this.
fun.
Engage your fan base. Make them feel welcome. That even though the kid got stiff arm, he's going to remember that, and he'll be a Panther fan the rest of his life.
You hit it on the head, and for us too, like, how do you get creative to allow access to your team, and so even game days, one of the things that we've done is, from our pregame meal to the dome, there's a short walk that we go right through the tailgate. And so, for us to give high fives to people, and then there's this statue of this big panther that's right out in front of the dome that, we gather, and then the fans kind of are all there. So to be able to, for our players to see their parents and give them hugs, but then for the general fan to be able to access us is really good. And then after games, we actually do we call it a gratitude lap, where we'll start on one side and we'll give high fives to people going down and then coming back on the other side, whether we win or lose, just saying, hey, thanks for coming. And again, anything like that, this summer we did, our players put on youth camps in different small towns that they were from, so we had one in New Hampton and we had one in Fairfield, and we had one, all over. And so it's just, again, how do you give access to your team? Because that's really the best part of our team is the personality of our players, and get around them. And it's hard not to root for them.
All right, Coach, we want you to drive safe to Sioux Falls today, just to let everybody know, because he's a routine guy. They changed their practice schedule. Thursdays during the fall at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, nice. Oh, you get to
6:30.
get up early with us,
Yeah.
Coach.
Yeah, we're going early, but you guys will get a nice little sneak peek because we'll start practice right after we get done. So you'll get a chance to see a little bit of the pre-practice prep that some guys do, which is
we appreciate you getting up with us, man. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, I love
Coach.
doing
we
this.
Love this. We love having you on, man. Thanks for
Coach. Travel safe, and then we'll catch up in about a month or two.
All right, sounds good, guys. Good
Thanks,
seeing
Coach.
you.
Yep. Coach Todd Stepsis is joining us on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. That's what Media Day should be. You just dive into everything. Fun. I like talking to Todd. He's such a good dude. All right, Roscoe, you go buy a car today. You go down to Willis, get yourself a car, take pictures. Can't wait for everybody to see your Platinum Rogue. Your Platinum Rogue. And you call me pretentious. You call me pretentious. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end unless you're just loitering. It's Central City. We can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City. All this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Hey everybody, Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity, and this month we have some exciting new offers going on. Right now you can get an all-new 2027 QX60 with rates as low as 2.9% plus $1,000 in special finance cash, or lease it with $1,000 in lease cash. Also, we're running low on 2026 QX80s. Get one now for 0% for 60 months. For more information on these exciting offers and more, visit us online at willisinfinity.com or stop by our showroom.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
Hi, Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Thinking about popping the question? Take their breath away with a diamond you can trust. Rare and forever natural diamonds. Thoughtfully selected and pre-screened using advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together. Our experienced team is here to help you create something truly meaningful. And let's not forget about the guys. We proudly offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Coming up now, Travis, Ross, and at least one opinion that will get somebody mad online.